Hi students, welcome to the classes of the paper titled Computer Networks. Now let us start our class right now from introduction. Before going to the details of the computer networks, let us start our discussion from data communications. So what is data communication? Consider two devices, and if we initiate data transfer from one device to another device, and if it is successful, it is called the data communications. Now define the data communications. It is the exchange of data between two devices via some form of communication media such as a wire cable. The fundamental characteristics of data communications are delivery, accuracy, and timeliness. Delivery means to whom it is intended. Accuracy means message should not be altered in transit. And timeliness means message should be delivered in time. Since data is very much important here, so what is the representation of data? The representation of data is either text, numbers, images, audio and video, or any combination of all these. Now we want to look for components of data communications. Now look at the screen. It has 5 components. Those are sender, receiver, message, medium, and protocol. Let us see each one in detail. Sender. It is a device that sends the data message. Receiver. It is a device that receives the data message. Transmission media. It is the physical path by which a message travels from sender to the receiver. Message is the information to be communicated. Protocol. It is a set of rules and regulations that governs the data communications. Now we look for direction of data flow. There are 3 types of data flow between any two parties. Those are simplex communication, half duplex communication, and full duplex communications. Simplex communications. Here the communication is unidirectional, that is from only one side. Here the sender is always the sender and the receiver is always the receiver. The example is radio and TV broadcasting. Second, half duplex communications. Here the communication is from both the sides but not at the same time. The example is walkie-talkies. Third, full duplex communication. Here the communication can be both the sides and maybe at the same time. The example is our cell phone communication. Now our attention will turn up into networks. So what is a network? It is a set of devices connected by communication links. The devices are also called as nodes. A node can be a computer or a printer or any other device capable of sending and or receiving the data generated by other nodes on the network. Now we can draw the definition of computer network. A computer network is an interconnected collection of autonomous computers two computers are said to be interconnected if they are able to exchange information. Network criteria. A network must be able to meet for a certain number of criteria. Those are performance, reliability, and security. Performance means its efficiency that depends on the communication model selected by the user. Second, reliability. Suppose in a network, if one computer gets down due to its hardware or software problem, the data in that computer, if it is available through the other computer which is also connected to the network, it is called reliability. Third, security. Only the authorized users can access the data. Network criteria contains three measures. One is performance, the second is reliability, and the third is security. Now let us see the physical structures of networks in which we want to look for type of connection. There are two types of connections that network is formed. That is, a network is a two or more devices connected through links. A link is a communication path that transfers data from one device to the other. There are two types of connections. One, point-to-point connections. Second, multi-point connections. Now we look at the screen on which the first one represents point-to-point connections. The second one is a multi-point connections. A point-to-point connection provides a dedicated link between two devices. The entire capacity of the link is reserved for the transmission between those two devices. A multi-point connection is one in which more than two specific devices share a link. Under the physical structures, another concept is the physical topology. The physical topology refers to the way in which a network is laid out physically and two or more systems connected to a link. Two or more links that form a topology. That is, the arrangement of nodes in a particular order is called the topology. There are four basic topologies possible. One, mesh topology. Second, star topology. Third, bus topology. Fourth, ring topology. Let us discuss each topology in detail. Now, mesh topology. Here, every device has a dedicated point-to-point link to every other device. When we look at the screen, we can find the links. There are 5 nodes. From each node, there are 4 links to every other nodes. The advantage of this mesh topologies are: 1. The use of dedicated links guarantees that each connection can carry its own data load, thus eliminating traffic problems. Second, the mesh topology is robust. If one link becomes unusable, it does not incapacitate the entire system. Third, it provides privacy and security. Fourth, point-to-point links makes fault identification and fault isolation easily. The disadvantages of this mesh topology are: 1. Clearly it shows that it requires a large number of cables and I/O ports. Second, it is inexpensive Third, it requires a large amount of space. Fourth one, if the number of devices are increased, it becomes complicated to construct. Now, look for a second topology, star topology. A hub is an interconnecting device. Here, each device has a dedicated point-to-point link to a central controller called a hub. Here, the devices are not directly linked to one another. The advantage of this star topology are: first, a star topology is less expensive than a mesh topology. It requires less number of cables and I/O ports when compared to mesh topology. Second, it is a robust. Third, fault identification and fault isolation are also easy. These three are the advantages of this star topology. The main disadvantage of this star topology is if the hub is failed, there is no data flow in the network. Now look for the third topology, bus topology. A bus topology is a multi-point and acts as a backbone to link all the devices. Nodes are connected to the bus cable by drop lines called taps. The best example of this is cable television network. The advantages of the bus topology are: first, it requires less cabling than mesh or star topology. Second, installation is easy. The disadvantages of this bus topology are: one, it is difficult to fault isolation. Second, it is not a robust. Third, somehow it is difficult to add new devices. Now we look for the fourth topology, ring topology. In a ring topology, each device has a dedicated point-to-point connection only with the two devices on either side. The advantages of these are: one, installation and reconnection is easy in a ring topology. Each device is linked only to its immediate neighbors. Second, to add or delete a device, it requires changing only two connections. Third, fault finding is also easy. But the disadvantages of this are: one, it has a unidirectional data flow. Second, if a link is disabled, there is no data flow in the network. Third, it is not a robust. So far we have seen four topologies. Each has its advantages and its disadvantages. Combinations of different topologies of different networks that makes a big network, and the topology for that network is a hybrid topology. When we look at the screen, it has two topologies, bus topologies and a star topology. Here we observe that the bus topology acts as a backbone for this network. Now we want to see the categories of networks. Networks are classified by their size, ownership, and speed. Networks can be classified into three types: local area networks, metropolitan area networks, and wide area networks. Let us see each one in detail. LANs, local area networks. A LAN is usually privately owned and links the devices in a single office building or in a campus. Its perimeter is within 1 kilometer. Its speed is also below 100 Mbps or 1000 Mbps. LANs are designed to resource sharing between PCs or workstations. When you look at the screens, there are two LANs which are constructed in different ways. MANs, Metropolitan Area Networks. A MAN is designed to extend over an entire city. It may be a single network, such as a television network, or it may be a means of connecting a number of LANs into a larger network. When we look at the screen, the MAN contains the collection of different local area networks spread over an entire city. This is also privately owned. Now we look for WANs. WAN provides a long distance transmission of data, voice, image, and video information over a large geographic area such as a country or a continent. The best example of WAN is the internet. Then what is the structure of the internet? A network is a group of connected communicating devices such as computers and printers. An internet is a two or more networks that communicate with each other. The internet is a collaboration of more than hundreds interconnected networks. As we see on the screen, systems are connected to Internet Service Provider, ISP. Each ISP is connected to regional ISP, and those are in turn connected to national ISP. National ISPs can be connected to each other. The internet is not owned by anyone, and we are all participating to the internet. So everybody runs the internet. So far we have seen the compute networks hardware. Now let us see the compute network software, under which we want to see protocols and standards. Protocol. A protocol is a set of rules that governs the data communications. A protocol defines what is communicated, how it is communicated, and when it is communicated. The key elements of a protocol are 1. Syntax, 2. Semantics, 3. Timing. Syntax means it refers the structure or format of the data. Semantics means it refers to the meaning of each section of bits. Timing refers to when the data should be sent and how fast they can be sent. Standards. Standards are essential in creating and maintaining an open and competitive market for equipment manufacturers. They provide guidance to vendors, government agencies, and manufacturers, etc. These are of two types: de facto standards and de jure standards. De facto standards, these standards that have not been approved by any organization, organized body, but have been adopted by its widespread use. Second, digital standards. These have been legislated by officially organized body. Some of the standard organizations are ISO, International Standards Organization, ITU, International Telecommunications Union, ANSI, American National Standards Institute, IEEE, Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers, EIA, Electronic Industries Association. In this session, what we have learned is data communications, data communication model, networks, computer networks, physical structures, topologies, categories of networks, the internet, protocol, standards, internet standards. That's all for this session. And when we come to the FAQs, these are the FAQs of these topics. First question, what are various network topologies? List its advantages and disadvantages of each one. Second, list various categories of networks. Explain each one. Third, what is the internet? Discuss its hierarchical organization. There is an assignment to you all. The assignment question is list the differences between various network topologies. You need to submit the assignment to my email account. That's all for this session.